So right now joining with me is Mr. Jarkin Gamlin. He is the retired Major General. And let me also tell you that he is the first Major General from Arunachal Pradesh in Indian Army. So sir, you first of all welcome to the network, and you are also the part of KKWS. So today is the Golden Jubilee celebration of KKSU. So what would be your remarks on this particular celebration?
Firstly, I think 50 years is a long time, and this is a reminder. I'll say the 50-year celebration is a reminder for all of us that KKSU has a long way to go, KKWS has a long way to go, and I think if you have understood some of the speeches which are given by the speakers, they have mentioned about this, that there is a dearth of leadership within the KKWS, and therefore there is a need to, I think, reinvent ourselves as a community so that we have the right leadership like we used to have earlier. So the Golden Jubilee celebration, I would say, is a reminder to all of us that there is a long way to go.
So it's a very proud moment for our state, Arunachal Pradesh. You have brought laurel to the state, being the first Major General from Arunachal Pradesh. So people would also love to know like how been your journey, because that's a success story.
Firstly, thank you for the good words. It's been a very, very interesting journey, I would say. Started as a young boy. When I started my schooling, it was Ramakrishna Mission at Alo, where I stayed in the boarding, and I was fortunate to get the opportunity to sit for the All India examination for entrance to the Rashtriya Indian Military College, which the erstwhile Royal Indian Military College. It was called Prince of Wales Royal Indian Military College. So I was lucky to get through the exam because I had not gone prepared for the exam. So I think that was part of my destiny. But having said so, I worked hard as a cadet in the school. Then I got through the UPSC exam to get an entrance to the National Defence Academy, Pune. Had my 3 years training there, had another year at Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, which is as per the process, and got my commission in 1983 into the Gurkha Regiment. I mean, if I start talking about the regiments, it will be a little confusing, so I'll keep it short. I joined a battalion called the 2nd Battalion of the 8th Gurkha Rifles, which is also famously known as Shyam Bahadur Maneksha's own battalion. So that was my beginning in the Army as an officer, and then I went through the motion of getting promoted, going for courses, doing my training. I think I had the opportunity to serve all across India. When they say, Kashmir se Kanyakumari tak, and Gujarat se Arunachal tak, I have literally served all across India, in all kinds of terrain. I have been through minus 20-30 degree. I have been through 50 plus Celsius also. So it's been a very interesting journey. Life, I wouldn't say was was a bed of roses. At the same time, I think one did enjoy the better moments. When I say better moments, there are good times also, bad times also. But overall, if you ask me, I think I'm grateful that I joined the army. I'm grateful that I had a good journey. I'm grateful that I rose to the rank of a Major General. Like I was mentioning to the public also, promotion in the armed forces, especially in the senior ranks, is not time-based. It is merit-based, based on vacancies. So the competition at the higher level is very, very tough. So I think to that extent, we have a good evaluation system in the armed forces, because of which a person like me could rise to the rank of a Major General. So I'm grateful to the organization that way. Insofar as my experience within the armed forces is concerned, I had different kinds of jobs which I had to undertake. I have handled budget as a colonel, though I am not a finance man.
Okay.
So I was the director budget as a colonel, which handled the, I will not call it the revenue budget of the army, but almost 67 to 70% of the revenue budget of the army was handled by a particular department, and I was the director budget there, so I had the opportunity to learn and to deliver also. I have also had the opportunity to handle the works. There is a department which handles the lands and works of the army. Basically, all the land holdings of the army within India and any construction therein. I had the opportunity to handle that also. This is non-operational commitments I'm talking about. Then, of course, I had the proud privilege of raising the first task force, special task force for handling the nuclear weapons of the country.
Okay.
It wasn't existent. So, to that extent, I was lucky that I was chosen to raise the task force as a young lieutenant colonel, and which I did, and that these task forces are still in existence. And then I also had the opportunity to come back as a major general to deal with the strategic forces command, basically dealing with the nuclear weapons of the country. And I had the privilege of raising the Agni 5 missile regiments for the country, which I think again was a very, very privileged opportunity for me. I feel very honored, privileged opportunity for me. I feel very honored that I was given this task of raising it, because these are all at that point in time top secret. Now, of course, Agni 5 is all in the news. It can, with this Agni 5 coming in, we have the capability to strike up to about 10,000 kilometers.
Okay, sir, adding on to that, like I have one last question for you. Being hailed as the first major general from Arunachal Pradesh, that's a very inspiring story. There are many people, especially the youngster, who are inspired by your journey, and they really look up to you. So what would be your message to the youngster and in fact the people who are watching you right now?
Firstly, I'll say never say die.
Okay.
Right? Never give up. Keep trying, even if you fail. But I believe that if you keep trying, you will not fail.
Okay.
That is one message that I'd like to give. And secondly, so now having said so, I'll also say that there is no shortcut to glory. One has to work hard, and work hard.
Jharkhand sir, you are the senior citizen of Galo clan, and recently there was a mysterious death of late Mr. Tumi Gangkak. And what do you think, and what's your take on the murder mystery of Mr. Tumi Gangkak, sir? And
that's a very difficult question to answer, honestly. Reason being, like I don't want to sound diplomatic. Reason being, the way you saw the thing happening, or the way it happened, yes, there is a degree of mystery in this. So one does think that why it went the way it did, right? But then investigation is on, so I am not here to point a finger at the police or the CBI as to why nothing has happened. I'm sure the investigation is on. I'm sure the truth will come out, if not now, later. But certainly I'm sure the truth will come out.
how been your experience with Mr. Tumi Gangkak, sir?
Like I said, a very honest person. He was quite soft-spoken, a man of few words. But as far as work was concerned, very diligent, very sincere, very trustworthy. And that is the word I'd like to use, very trustworthy. So I've got no doubts that Tumi Gangkak had no role to play whatsoever in this paper leakage fiasco.